Grand Risings. Welcome to today's talk. Still working on my broker's license. I'm over 20% of the way finished with it. So, I only have 80% more. I'm looking at it like that's downhill. Oh. I set up a meeting with David, who wanted to meet my broker. David just got his license at the beginning of this year, end of last year. And so he wants to meet my broker. So we're going to meet on Monday. So that should be a pretty great meeting because there's the possibility that he'll join the brokerage under my broker. So that means we'll have more agents to work with, more people to bring into the fold to help support the mission and the effort, which is always good because it's just more, more minds to definitely like bounce ideas off of, to get help from, and to build like a support network. So that is good. That's definitely good. I was thinking as I was watching through some of these videos, I'm really glad I put this calendar behind me on the wall. I made this calendar for 18 months because I had a mentor of mine who's like, if you're doing anything, it takes about 18 months to really see a difference. And so as I'm actually looking at it, right now we're in August, and that means there's about 10 months that are actually left on this. And so about 8 months have passed. And even in just the 8 months that have passed, I've definitely seen a change in my behavior and the quality of my life. And my standards, my mentality, and things of that nature. And so I have my agenda here. It's got my goals on it. And what's cool about this is that if I don't hit my goals, no worry. I can just reset the goal and complete it when it needs to be, and complete it in the time it needs to take. So one of the things that's pretty major for me is not setting new goals until I complete the current goals, which I have. So that way I'm still focusing on what it is I said I wanted to do, and then making that happen by keeping my goals top of mind, not trying to set a new goal, or not trying to, oh, this goal is really hard, so let me just go set a new goal, or I forgot that I actually had this as a goal. No, I have my goals right here. These are the things I'm working towards. The only thing that has a date, none of these goals actually have dates specifically, which is good because it just means however long it takes you to get to that level, it just takes you that long. It's not about when, it's about the journey. And so as I'm on this journey, I'm just continually keeping my goals in front of me. And one of my main goals is, it's literally like the second goal on the list after this other educational goal, is to obtain my broker's license. And so would you believe that 8 months later is when I'm actually working on doing the broker's license, even though that is the second goal on the list. So that just proves to me that some of these goals are going to take longer than whatever mindset I had at the time. Oh, it'll take not a lot of time or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter how much time it takes. What is important is the person I become at the end of crossing these milestones. That's the more important thing. So, Yeah, that's actually what is important. Everything else is simply time, resistance, and yeah, and just um yeah, like that's what everything else is. So I like even I put it in here like in my agenda. My goal is to follow my agenda, follow agenda. So that way I know like okay, follow the agenda. I made this goal. I had this intention. Complete it. Another one. Combination of 13 $720,000 transactions or the equivalent thereof. So that amount is about $260,000 in sale and commissions. So that's my goal. Like just obtain that goal. Which is good because it just means like I believe in myself enough to have that goal. That goal, goals are things like you don't just pick a goal. Maybe the goals pick you. So I believe in myself to have that goal. I haven't achieved it though. So I keep working at it, keep chopping away, keep prospecting away. And I believe this quote from John Maxwell, which is, you build your career by working on your strengths. You build your character by working on your weaknesses. And that's how you forge your character, by working on your weaknesses. So at this time, the intellectual pursuits like the broker's license is definitely building my career, because that's like the stuff that I'm typically good at. The stuff that I'm not as good at would be the sales, which is building my character. And yeah. So with that being said, there's the course. Oh, I also realized that there is like, I made this dichotomy of like with being an agent, there is like an unknown, right? Of going out into the field and finding clients customers. At a certain point in time, I will have achieved these goals. That is a definite. At a certain point in time, I will have achieved these goals, and then I'll be able to set new goals. And when I set new goals, that just means that, hey, look, you've done the work, you've transformed yourself, you've evolved. It's time for you to realize, like, okay, set a new goal. The other thing which I have been, which is really good for me, is I was releasing traumas. So yesterday I was releasing some traumas by making videos about them. Like I'm doing this vlog. So anytime you have like a failure in business or in your personal life, really in your personal life, that creates like a trauma where it's like, oh man, like you look at yourself like you're the failure, when it's like that's not the case at all. You're the experimenter. You're the entrepreneur. You're the social scientist who is putting together this variable system that involves money and dollars and people. So if the experiment breaks, you're the social scientist. You can do another one. And so the thing I always had to do is like when it breaks, don't let that toxic residue get on to myself. And that's what was happening. Like the people in some of the situations that that I was releasing, that stuff was like really weighing on me for like years. Definitely like 18 months, 2 years, at least like 6 months. So I'm like, man, that stuff slows me down. And it really makes me feel as if I'm a failure. So I was getting rid of that stuff by just venting. I had to vent it. Like, I don't like to vent to people. However, I'm changing that about myself, and that it is necessary for me to vent to people, friends, only vent to people you know, like, and trust, and for people to vent to me if they know, like, and trust me. That's just a sign of a bond. So yeah, I'm gonna just recognize that as a good thing. If people are venting to me, that means they're wanting to bond with me. And now, whether or not I know, like, and trust them is for me to decide. So it doesn't necessarily go both ways. So so about me, um, yeah, I just need to event that. So I got rid of that stuff. So I essentially closed that door. So what's important to me is to look for like things in the environment, in my environment, that are like unconsciously toxic, or maybe they're not aligned with me and my purpose. And then I'm looking around the room because I'm like, are there any things in here that are just like, oh man, think about, like, they're just like negative artifacts or negative obstacles. I don't see any. I don't consciously, like, the things that I don't consciously see any, but it's like at certain points in times you'll really realize, like, oh, I don't need to have that. Like, that's somebody else's problem. Like, that doesn't really count. Like, I have a headset over there, but it's a headset. Like, that's fine. Yeah, I don't really see anything in here, but those are the type of things where it just takes, those things take time to reveal themselves. So don't, no, it's better to say what you should do instead of what you should not do. They take time to reveal themselves. Patience and perseverance are your friends. Patience and perseverance are your friends. I think that's what today's talk is going to be called. Patience and perseverance are your friends. And this is the other thing I realized, like, about that list. Okay. It doesn't matter how old you are when you achieve these things. Why would that ever matter? It's like, oh, you won't have time, like, you won't have time to enjoy it. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. You will have time to achieve the things you want in life that you find are your soul's mission to achieve, and to enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's how life works. Like, wow. My mind just expanded a little bit. Like, it's like this. There are seasons for everything. And I'm thinking about this fig tree, right? Like, not only do I own a couple fig trees, but I have fig trees that are in the neighborhood. that are in walking distance, and at some point in life, I'll plant mini fig trees and fruit trees, and I'll plant orchards. So, as a plant, is there ever a point in time where a plant goes its entire life, has all these leaves, and it's a healthy plant, but it doesn't bear fruit? No. It bears fruit every season. And it works and it grows every season. In fact, it grows all the time, literally every single moment. And then even when it, except for when like wintertime comes, but even at that point in time, the roots are growing underground to look for more nutrients. And so that's like its network. That's like for me, that's like the associations I'm a part of, my mentors, the books I read, the notes I've taken, everything I've done in my like files to keep a record of things. So like they're growing. So for me, like I have these dreams. I have a lot of dreams. Persevere. They'll all be achieved. How could they not be? Like if it wasn't for you to achieve them, you wouldn't have the dream, or you wouldn't know about the dream. All that's required is patience and perseverance. Because it's for you. Like life happens for you. It happened. These things that you desire are happening for you. Like for instance, like all the things you want to do, like get your broker's license, be a successful agent, be an artist, write, invest in stocks, be an investor. You already do all of those things on a smaller level. So what you're really looking to do is to do more of the things that you already do. This is life. This is the ever expanding right. So remember your destiny, expanding synthesis of wealth creation. All of those things are that. So being a broker means you have agents working underneath your broker's license. So that's also what that means. Which is just to say, like, you have a team. You have a team of people. And you've led teams before. So you'll lead more teams. Like, you've led teams in high school. You led teams in the military. You led teams on these projects that you do. You led teams on the business, the first sales business that you tried with the team. You led another team on the second sales business that you tried with the team. Like, those are the things that like you do. So that was like 5 examples. There's a lot of examples of me being a leader, which is what a broker is. Like, they're a leader. And they lead agents to successful careers. So yeah, actually all of those things I've done, and I will just continue to do those things on higher and higher levels throughout life. So, and of course, like the other stuff, like getting like my pilot's license, selling my products of my cologne, all of that type of stuff, and looking for more crystals. So, all that to say that keep working. Like, the more work you do, the faster it brings these goals to you. And also the faster you change and you evolve. And that's probably the hardest part that is definitely the hardest part is like, how fast can you get the experience necessary to evolve? Because it is growth. And because it's growth, The old is dying away and the new is finding space. So that's just up to you. Yeah. And then you can grow faster with people around you as long as you guys have similar dreams and aspirations. So keep that in mind. Again, patience and perseverance are your friends. I'm Cameron. I'm your friend. So, farewell.